1862, they commissioned the first badge. So, back in the day, they called this Stumptown, and it kind of has retained that name to this day.
Well, why did they call it Stumptown?
You sound very sad.
We can read about it right
They
here.
cleared it.
Don't lean on that.
Town had a population of just under 1,000 people. 6 males, every female. 90% were under 20 years old. The largest settlement in the Pacific Northwest. There were only 2 buildings taller than 1 story. General stores, groceries, flour mill, drug shop. All the buildings are made of wood. Few built with canvas. Portland was a frontier village, nicknamed both Stumptown and Mudtown. Stumps from fallen firs lay scattered dangerously about front and first streets. Humans and animals, carts and wagons slogged through a sludge of mud and water. Sidewalks often disappeared during flood periods. Still, in 1851, the little town of Portland Incorporated became the second city in Oregon after Oregon City from 1844.
In 1881, police officers must be a citizen, able to read and write, resident of Portland for 1 year, have no criminal record, be of sound mind and body, at least 5 foot 10 inches, and at least 175 pounds. So you can weigh yourself on this scale and see if you can meet the requirements.
On April 1, 1908, Lola Baldwin was sworn into the Portland Police Bureau to perform police service. At the age of 48, she became the first female police officer west of the Mississippi and the second in the nation. 4 years before she could vote.
Lola Baldwin was known for being anti-gambling, anti-temperance, anti-dancing. And so there's a concert venue here called the Crystal Ballroom, which was open at that time, which she was instrumental in shutting down because they were doing gambling and other nefarious activities in there. But now, when they reopened it in the 90s, they named the second floor dance club that used to be a hidden club Lola's Room. She would not have liked at all.
Yeah.
That's a pretty incredible light post. And assorted badges and equipment. We have a lot of interesting hats here.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different badges and things. There was a juvenile. They were 12 to 18-year-olds, made arrests of adults and juveniles, reported crimes, and marched in parades. From 1913 to 1916. It didn't last very long.
12-year-old cops that were arresting adults? Yeah, I bet it didn't last long. Babe Ruth visited Portland and played an exhibition in October 1924. During his visit, he had his picture taken with several local dignitaries, including Chief Leon Jenkins. The signed ball was given to Chief Jenkins during the visit. Oh,
This right here
there's a picture. Very cool.
is the lamp that was on, just one of the two lamps that were on either side of the doors at the Second and Oak Police
Precinct.
Headquarters.
There's the motorcycle police. Look at that old Harley. And the tricks that they performed, apparently. Hey kids, don't do this on your motorcycles, but look what we can do. In 1846, they stopped using the Circle Star badge and they started using the badge that they use presently. And they had a whole bunch of these badges left over. So someone just put them in a bag and threw them in the river. And recently, within the last few years, someone uncovered that bag full of police badges in the river. It was an interesting way to try and get rid of them.
Okay, so I can tell a little bit here now. So we donated my father's auxiliary police uniform, gloves, hat, jackets that had his badges on, and like the little patch there. I don't know if any of these are his, but at the time they didn't have anything of the auxiliary police, but apparently someone had made a donation and they received quite a bit of stuff. And apparently this guy here was captain, so I guess he got first bidding here. My father was a lieutenant in the auxiliary police, but this guy, it looked like, also served with the civil defense program. You see there's a big sign for the join the Portland Auxiliary Police. My dad had one of those signs, and it was kind of from him seeing that he determined that he wanted to join the police. And I think that was during the centennial, the Oregon Centennial, that he seen that sign, because it was shortly after that, as I recall, that he actually joined the auxiliary police. So he must have been impressed on what they were doing, and he'd like to do that too.
Portland Police Highland Guard. Computer-assisted dispatch from the 1970s. Jail visiting hours on Sunday only. There's your ball and chain so you don't get away. Shut her in, Bree. Or maybe not.
No. You're lucky. This floor saved you. No one can hold me in. No jail. I just push the door open and I'm chain this to her. She won't get away.
There you go.
The old ball and chain.
And this is, I'm guessing, like a SWAT uniform and a bomb squad robot. Bree's going where she belongs. In the pokey.
It is kind of a Johnny Five.
Johnny Five is alive. And here's McGruff the crime dog.
Is that the drunk tank bench?
Who's this?
Don't you recognize him? It's the lava monster.
The lava monster from Grimm.
From Grimm.
Oh, and this is Sergeant Woo's uniform from Grimm.
There was the Sergeant Wu right there. Show him. There was that.
More Grimm. I guess it does belong in here. They were cops, Portland police officers, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the books.
That's pretty cool.
Wow, yeah.
So bringing them from the trailer.
From the trailer park.
Aww.
Lanyard.
There's a beer koozie, Portland Police beer koozie.
And lanyards.
Responsibly, Jody.
Portland Police throw blanket, only $40.
Right there.
And some mugs, blankets. Who's that fella? What's this?
Badge pins.
Oh,
Thank you.
little badge pin set. That is cute.